Lantern. Aaron Pierre cast as Jon Stewart in HBO's DC series. Yeah, they're doing a Green Lantern series. Aaron Pierre, Rebel Ridge, has been tapped to star in Lanterns, HBO's high-profile series based on the Green Lantern DC comic. He's set to portray Jon Stewart opposite Hal Jordan. A role Kyle Chandler has been in negotiations for and expects to close. Pierre landed the Jon Stewart part after an extensive search. As Deadline reports 2 weeks ago, in the process's final stages, he had emerged as a front-runner alongside Stephen James. The series from Ozark's Chris Mundy, Watchmen's Damon Lindelof. People didn't like Watchmen. And the comic book writer Tom King follows new recruit Jon Stewart and Lantern legend Jordan, two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. This doesn't sound like a Green Lantern story. This sounds like This sounds like a season of True Detective that they needed to slap Green Lanterns onto. Am I wrong here?
It kind of does, yeah. But
the 8-episode Lanterns is produced by HBO in association with Warner Brothers Television Studios. Monday, who will serve as showrunner. Lindelof and King are co-writing, executive producing. James Hawes will direct the first 2 episodes and will executive produce. Pierre leads the cast of Jeremy Saunders' Rebel Ridge, which has been a #1 movie on Netflix for 3 weeks, and next voices of a titular character of Mufasa and Barry Jenkins' animated Lion King prequel for Disney. Currently filming Apple TV Plus' The Morning Show. Pierre also starred as Malcolm X in the Nat Geo series Genius MLK/X. And that should have been titled Geniuses. Anyway, his credits also include Garth Davis Foe alongside Paul Mescal and Saoirse Ronan. Clement Virgo's brother, Jenkins of the series The Underground Railroad. He is represented by WME Anonymous Content, Hamilton Hodel, and Sloan Officer Weaver Dern. I always feel like when they say that I'm thinking about lawyers, but they're talking about agents, right? Talent agencies, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
I have a question, though. What was the plot of this? Is this a murder in the American heartland?
I have no idea.
This doesn't sound like a superhero series.
The whole point of the Green Lantern Corps is supposed to be they're like an intergalactic police force, yes. You know? So if you're going to do a police procedural, it needs to be on a galactic scale. This should have the level of story of like Guardians of the Galaxy. Not that I'm saying it should be comical like that. It should be more like a police procedural, but for space cops.
Would it make more sense for it to be like an X-Files situation, like where weird stuff is happening, like alien abductions, and the authorities have to, or the FBI or somebody have to call on the Green Lanterns for help?
I mean, I guess you could have the Green Lantern Corps being like a DC version of the Men in Black, where, you know, this planet is a such and such level planet. Such and such level aliens aren't supposed to be operating here. You know, where did this technology come from? And doing a, you know,
that are humans using alien technology that
they're not supposed to have, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Is this just going to be a murder mystery series? It sounds like this Penguin series, which is really just kind of a mob series from what I've heard. I'm not saying it's a bad show, but I'm saying that I've heard people say it's like a mob series, you know, like a Sopranos type, but it's like they're having.
I'm going to tell you something else. If you're putting something on I've said this about every streaming show that we've had thus far. If you're putting it on a streaming series, you may as well make a comic book out of it. It's not canon because not everyone has seen it and is going to know what it's all about.
They're kind of going for the Disney Plus route where they want to have series along.
And that's worked out so well for Disney, right?
I don't know. Who is this guy? Well, I guess he's a relative unknown. It doesn't mean he's a bad actor. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this guy knowing absolutely zero about him going, yeah, I can see him as Jon Stewart. I can see him as
Jon Stewart. I like Jon Stewart. I also, what bugs me is this is going to be an older Hal Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Which means
we never got any actual story with Hal Jordan except that one movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Which means also, though, that in this universe, Hal Jordan predates Clark Kent Superman.
Probably true.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Nope.
So I don't know. Jon Stewart was dope in Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, I liked him in that. He had a goatee going on in that.
He was great in the comics too.
Yeah, they realized that they made a mistake They did one of those mirror type episodes on Justice League where you got to see the Justice Lords in an alternate Earth, and they were the villains, and where something horrible had happened, and they said, why didn't we have one of the characters have a goatee? And I think later on in Justice Limited, they had the Green Lantern have, I think instead of having, hair, he shaved his head and had a goatee instead. I think as a, because that's what they should have done, because that's what Spock had. He had this goatee.
Right, exactly.
They said they should have had John Stewart have the goatee. But he wrote the score for Dunes Part 1 and 2, also other movies. Okay. It could be a murder mysteries where the dead body ends up on Earth and the investigation leads them off-world. What if it's humans that murdered an alien? Right?
And it could
cause an international incident. And that'd be humans kill an alien, and it could cause an intergalactic incident, right? Like an important figure on an alien planet. And since they're humans and Green Lanterns, they figure, well, we're kind of both worlds. We have to solve this to stop Earth from being blown up or something by some government.
There was a multi-title, a cross-title
that could
event.
Work. Yeah.
There was a cross-title event that they did back in the 90s called Invasion. And it basically was an intergalactic story of all these aliens attacking Earth.
Right.
Honestly, that's what Green Lantern should be doing. That should all be, everything Green Lantern should be leading up to some big event like Invasion.
But that would be interesting. Like maybe an alien prince or something was visiting Earth or was murdered. And basically this could cause this alien king or whatever to invade the Earth. And the Lantern Corps says, look, you guys got 2 weeks to solve this thing and find out what happened and who did it. Or otherwise, we may not be able to stop a war from happening. Right. That could be interesting. Right.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know that that's what they're going to do. It could just be a normal murder case.
You know what? Absolutely. Darth Plato is right. Green Lantern Corps is basically the DC version of the Nova Corps. That's kind of right.
Yes. Yeah, basically, yeah. There are a lot of if you look at DC and Marvel, there are a lot of echoes in both universes. Like there's
Thanos and Darkseid. I mean,
Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate.
Yeah. And it's very clear sometimes that one company stole from the other company. Don't forget the connections between Supergirl and Captain Marvel, Linda Danvers.
Mm.
They're basically the same character in two different universes.
I couldn't really find a Superman analog, except when I did watch Luke Cage, I felt he reminds me a bit of a Superman. And when I was watching the Netflix series, they have similar. I think if Clark Kent and Luke Cage met each other, they'd get along. I'll just say that. They have similar personalities. They have the super strength, but not that one is like the other. But because they often say Captain America is the Superman analog, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Superman is Gladiator in Marvel. Interesting. Okay. Who's Wonder Woman in Marvel? You know what I want to say? Thor. Even though it's a opposite sex, right? But it's another son of a god, right? Or demigod character, right?
Yeah,
and that's how I see it. Yeah,
there wasn't there a Marvel team, like I want to say not the Supremes. What were they? But they had like a blonde-haired sun-powered superhero. He was supposed to be the Superman of Marvel. It was the Superiors or something like that. I don't.
Sometimes they make characters just to make fun of characters from the other universe.
Yep, absolutely.
Batman Beyond, they had this group of heroes that were basically aping on they were making fun of the Fantastic Four, and they turned out to be villains in the episode at the end. But anyway, moving on.
Hyperion, that was the name of the character from Marvel. That was the Superman analog.
So you're thinking about the Eternals? Oh, wow.
No, not the Eternals. It was not the Eternals that I was thinking of.
I still have not seen that movie.
Yeah, don't bother. It totally is not. It totally is not worth it.
Superion from the tip.
But Squadron Supreme would be the Marvel equivalent of the Justice League. So look into it. Do a little Google foo on that one.
Oh,
yes, Deadpool was
Wade
a ripoff of
Slade
Deathstroke.
Wilson. Oh,
yes,
that's funny. I
absolutely.
didn't even think about that.
Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson. He's absolutely right.
I love Deadpool.
Sorry,
too.
I don't know. I don't mean to assume your gender, Darth Plato.
When the guy walks up,
time.
remember when the guy walks up and says, Black Tom. Oh, white Wade Wilson. Remember that? Just that movie. And then Black Tom, who wasn't black. And then I think Cable, he ends up getting killed by one of Cable's shots. And he said, "You killed Black Tom, you racist." Remember that? It's just terrible. I need to watch the third one.
Actually, Marvel has, and that's kind of a little bit of a meta joke, because Marvel has a lot of characters that, are black this, black that, and most of them are not racially black.
That's true, but DC, you got what? Black
Black Cat.
Black
No, Black.
No, that's Marvel.
Yeah, what is it? It's Black
Lightning.
Black Lightning.
Black
yeah.
Manta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Black Manta. Oh wait, Black Manta was black, wasn't it?
Yes.
Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the top tier villains in DC as far as I'm concerned. By watching these cartoons, I realize that he's one of the A-list villains. Boomer, I saw the Internals, wish I hadn't. Yes. I don't know. I just want Black
Vulcan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black Lightning. Yeah. I was arguing. See, I told you when I was coming up with my Superman movie.
Yes, Black Canary is a great example of one that is obviously white blonde girl who's not black. Yeah.
My when we were on Match 6 channel and doing our own thing, I wanted to have Black Lightning, the character who becomes Black Lightning, would get introduced in the first Superman movie, and then I think he might become Black Lightning in the second one. I think to help out Superman, who was getting beaten up by Metallo. I was going to kind of bring him into it. But yeah, it's just never mind. That's obviously not what they're going to do. Apparently all the heroes are going to show up right away.